Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode, a bloody episode of I Live for This review show, the Boulet Brothers Dragula special. And today we're going to be reviewing episode 3 of what went down, the bloodbath that happened. Because God knows there's lots of drama in this episode, like always, I should say. So I'm
Girl.
super excited. So today we have a special guest. And before I bring on the special guests and we talk about them, I want to also introduce my bestie and partner in crime.
Me, Trinity the Tuck. Hi.
Yes.
Before we bring them on, don't forget, Serve Vodka is a sponsor of Dragula, and you can go to servevodka.com and order yours today. They ship direct to you. The flavor is mixed berries. It's the best. I like it with either just Sprite or something like watermelon Red Bull or tropical Red Bull. It's fierce. Try it.
And also mine is sour puss because I'm a sour bitch.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Bitterberry.
Also, neither one of us have it on today. I don't think this is the official. This is Hello Uglies, but
I'm representing too.
you are. We don't always have to wear it, but we will be giving away an exclusive merch package. It has a bunch of stuff in it from the Boulets Direct, because this is their premiere review show. And so we thank you. All you have to do to win is subscribe to the channel, like and comment on each of the Dragula reviews on our channel, and we will pick a winner at the end of the season. Are you ready to welcome our special guest for today?
Yes, this is one of my favorite girls. She's sickening at drag.
Let's welcome
Auntie Heroine.
Oh wow!
Oh yes.
Fully
Girl,
painted.
I was in the middle of putting my pads on and everything.
Bitch,
Yeah.
I live.
Do you have a gig tonight?
Yeah, I have a gig out and we're doing a charity out of town, and I'm doing a little photo shoot too.
I
Yes.
live. Those earrings are fierce.
Thank you. I made them.
Do
The
you
hair is
style
fierce
or
too.
just
Do you
like
style all your own hair?
Yeah, I do. You like that? Just a little something, something. I usually do it a little bit longer, but I thought, have to be practical sometimes.
It's
It's
sick.
fierce. You are my kind of Dragula queen. You're like really, really polished, but very, very Dragula. And
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot coming from you, as I just put on my, don't mind me.
I love that tattoo as well. I don't know if I've been able to see that on the show yet.
Oh, yeah, maybe not yet. I think we should do a little close up at some point. But this
What
is
is it?
It's Auntie Heroine.
That's so
Yes.
fierce. That's so fierce.
But not necessarily because if some people will be like, well, that's a little bit narcissistic, don't you think? But I don't see it as that, because it's not like I'm putting my out of drag self. I feel like this is Auntie Heroine, the goddess. I am just paying homage to her every time I get in drag.
You know what? You could be narcissistic. Pay
Be
homage.
proud of that character.
Worship yourself.
Okay, fine.
If you can't tattoo
That's right, bitch.
on your body, who in the hell can you tattoo on yourself?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited. I know Chantel absolutely loves you. I think you're her favorite for the season.
Yes.
And,
Oh my God.
we have some questions planned for you. We just want to go ahead and open it up. Chantel, I know you have some listed, honey. She has them written down.
Well, I tried to come prepared, because a polished queen comes prepared. I'm sure y'all know.
Oh, and I'm over here in my fucking pads. Jesus Christ.
All right, so in the episode, there was a lot of drama that went down. One of the questions that I had was, you remember when Aurora was talking about how like the rumor was going around that she was rumored, and that she said somebody was talking about it. And then like I think I saw a clip, I'm not sure, don't quote me, where you had said that you might have heard somebody. Did you hear anything about it like on set? Do you know who said it?
Listen, I'd like to take us back to the cliff notes here, and let's just say Majesty came out and said, I heard two people saying something. And when Aurora said, which two people? She said, you tell me. Bitch,
Yeah.
Please. That's a bunch of hokey bullshit. Okay. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. Give us all the drama.
I'm hoping that we find out later in the season, sweetie. Yes. It's a good story.
We'll see. We shall see.
Well, is there anything else that you could tell us, just for the fans that are listening and watching? Because, people like to see and hear what
Like
actually
behind the scenes
happens
stuff that
behind the
might not
scenes.
have
Like,
aired.
is there anything that happened in this episode that may not have gotten to air?
Hmm. Let me think. Oh, well, oh no. I'm pretty sure they showed all of Majesty's annoying moments.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
the villain of the season. I mean,
No, I think it is interesting because it's very serious. Like somebody could definitely be disqualified if something got out, if people were breathing into the air. But let's just say that Chicago talks a lot. So if anybody has anything to say, I have a feeling it's coming from that sector. And, honestly, I think that if anything is proven about Aurora this season, it's that she's an amazing actress. So I don't know. Maybe Majesty heard it from her.
oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, I have a question. Your drag daughter, Scylla, got eliminated. She was on the same season as you. It's like a double question. First part of the question is, how was it competing with your drag daughter? And how do you feel about her being eliminated? I know you kind of went over it in the moment, but like obviously that's been a long time ago that y'all filmed. So like, how does it feel like we don't want to know too far in the episode or the season, but like, how did it feel continuing to compete without her knowing that she was there?
Well, I'll say first and foremost, having her on the show, I do feel like the both of us maybe had a leg up. Maybe not like a physical leg up, but I think emotionally it was really nice to have like my best friend there, somebody that I could talk to. I will say we didn't really spend a whole lot of time together when we were there, just because we already fucking know each other,
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
in
like we kind
competition
of
mode.
yeah, we wanted to get to know other people. We were kind of like doing our own things, loving from afar. And so, but I do think that having her around was, there was a lot of emotional support there. And I think, vice versa, we helped each other out on an emotional level. When it comes to her leaving, or I guess just even the competition aspect of her being there, I have always looked up to Scylla. She has fucking amazing ideas. She is the fantasy ghoul, like she always
Where
has all
were
these
they in the
grand
first episode? It's the second episode.
girl. Don't even get me started because that's what I'm saying. I think when I was there, I'm very much polished. I look, I want to see the glitz and the glamour. And I looked at her and I said, I don't see it, girl. But like watching the show, I will say I I was actually pleasantly surprised. I think the editing and her performance, because we didn't get to see the performances. So like
Yeah.
seeing her performance, I'm like, oh bitch, that is so fucking Phil, so fucking punk. I loved it. And I think she relies heavily on her performances usually, which is something that inspires me. I tell her all the fucking time, don't go out there barefoot. Bitch, don't go out there wearing that. Don't powder yourself with baby powder. Come on, bitch, what are you doing? But
Yeah.
she goes and does it anyway, proves me wrong every time. So I love that. And I was a little bit nervous coming in, seeing her. I'm like, oh shit. Like I didn't know which way this is gonna go. I think she's super, super punk rock. And I think the fans, I thought, I really figured the fans would love her. And I think she is definitely a polarizing figure. Some people where it's just like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? And then other people that are like, no, all the way, ride or die. Having her leave was I feel like I kind of expected it coming. I don't think that she brought the caliber that everybody else brought to the competition at that point in time. I don't know
Yeah.
what else she might have had prepared in her head, but I think what she did show, just compared to everybody else, wasn't enough. So I kind of like saw it coming. It was kind of sad not having her there, but ultimately it is a competition and we were just go 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 all the time. It's probably the most emotionally, physically, mentally exhausting thing I've ever been through. So at that point it was like once she was gone, it's like, well shit, have I been here for a week or a year? I don't even fucking know anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna piggyback off Trinity and say, did you guys talk after she had got eliminated, like before she had left or anything, or was it just kind of like bye?
No, I didn't get a chance. She did leave me a little note on my
Oh,
mirror, very classic. Just said, show the world that anti-charm that we've come to love. So, it meant a lot. We love each other so much, but yeah, we didn't really get a chance to say anything after she left, unfortunately.
how long have
I
you been doing drag? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Trinity.
no. Answer that, and then actually, my question has to do with that. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I've been doing drag for 10 years now. So this January is the big 10. So yeah, it's pretty much 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're very polished with your makeup and literally everything. My biggest critique with queens is details on no matter what kind of drag you do, it's all in the details. And
Yeah.
your makeup
Hmm.
is perfection. Everything is perfection, even when it's filth. And I love that. I appreciate the details. Have you always done alternative horror drag, or have you explored other types of drag? Because you come across to me like if there was a pageant queen in the Dragula realm, that would be you.
Yeah, well, so I started drag. I've always been alternative. I've always done like weird, big. I think in the beginning was a lot more Club Kitty kind of looks. But I started out doing like comedy stuff, still alternative, but it was always comedy. And I think that was kind of my own way of dealing with my own self-esteem issues because
Mm.
it's when you look like garbage, if you're making fun of yourself, who's going to laugh at you? You know what I mean? We're laughing together, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of started, I knew I was a funny person. So I really hit hard with um, comedy. And then as it started going along, it's like that's when I started going into what I love, which is like the horror aspect of things. And as years went on, I kind of got into like sexy and drama. When I started feeling, more myself, feeling like, I am good at this. This is amazing. People love me. So, I think I started opening up. But I've always been like super alternative. In fact, I don't know if you know her name, but Mila O'Day back in the day, she's from Rockford, and she
Mm.
actually put me in drag for the first time. And I had facial hair. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to shave this shit off. Just do it over it. And I
Yeah.
really loved it. And I'm like, let's paint it pink, And when I saw that, I'm like, well, shit, I'm never shaving my face. I fucking love bearded drag. So I've
Yeah.
kind of always been doing that. And I think me coming from Rockford, which is in like the Wisconsin pageant system. So it's a lot of pageant queens here. My
Yeah.
drag mom,
Pageantry
Sharon
is
Sherlike.
strong there.
Yes, yes. And my drag mom, Sharon Sherlike, she was like Miss Illinois US of A in like 2000 or something. And so like my whole family, all of the people I do drag with, they're all pageant queens. I never really went into it though, because the first 2 years of doing drag, nobody would book me as a bearded queen. And then even being
Mm.
alternative, it was difficult. So I'm heavily influenced by, the glamour of pageantry, but I've never had the pleasure. I do respect it a lot. I think it is an incredible art form and community around the pageant system.
Yep.
But when I started getting really good, bitches would always be like, "Girl, Auntie, you need to do a fucking pageant. We want to see you in a pageant." I'm like, "Girl, I'm not being in a pageant unless it's televised."
That
And
part.
here I am.
Well, we are both part of EOY, and EOY prides itself on creativity. We're trying
Hmm.
to push the system in way more of a creative direction, and we've had some very creative queens come through on the stage.
And we've
If
had bearded queens.
Yeah, if you
Hmm.
ever decide to do a pageant, please come do EOY, and we would love to coach you through it. Like,
Yeah.
because I just think you would do phenomenal. I want to ask you a question about this specific runway. You
Hmm.
said that you live in Wisconsin now.
I live in Rockford, in the Wisconsin system.
Mm.
How in the hell did you get your Jack in the Box costume to LA? Because that was huge.
Well, yes, it was a lot of stress. It was very scary. Um, Actually, it's made so that it can be collapsible. So,
Oh,
you know, like
word.
nuts and bolts, different, you know, Velcro, things like that, hold it all together. So it was collapsed. It was still, you know, these giant squares. So I have to put it in a giant box. And I had to ship it freight, which was hundreds of dollars. So
God,
that
I can
was a lot of
imagine.
fun. But you know, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and Dragula's been my dream for years. And I said, if I'm gonna go big, and that's what I'm gonna do. And when I got there, I unboxed it and I started putting it together, and all the bitches were like, "Oh, fuck
Oh,
you!" I
I
just
know
remember,
that they did, bitch. I would too. If I was competing against you and you pulled out this ginormous dragon, I would have been like, fuck.
yeah, you know. So the sad thing is, I ended up hot gluing a lot of it just because I didn't want to risk any of it falling apart on the runway, and
Yep.
because it was hot glued, I couldn't really take it apart, so it did end up staying there, festering in LA.
Oh,
So
well,
yeah, I couldn't bring it back with me. I mean, where the fuck am I gonna put it? I wouldn't even be able to fit it into my fucking apartment.
yeah. I mean, it did what it needed to do. Like that on All Stars 7, the first runway, the big purple velvet dress that had a huge train that I
Hmm.
wore. Girl, it is sitting in my storage unit. I can't take it anywhere. It's literally I
Hmm.
had to pack it in a humongous tarp. So like it won't fit in anything for me to even be able to wear it anywhere else. So girl, she's just rotting away in the Florida musky air in
Oh my
the
God.
storage unit somewhere, honey.
Truly,
Damn.
yeah. I had to junk. You know, not all of my outfits could make it, unfortunately. This next episode, that one had to stay there too, unfortunately.
Dang, dang. Well, I'm sure it's gonna be great TV. Um,
I'm
Chantal, I
excited.
know you had a specific question about exterminations, but
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to try to start this new thing where we ask every person as a guest on here, what is one extermination that you absolutely could not do if you had to do it on the show?
Um, I've thought about this because they ask us this, but
Yes.
the during Titans, there's that kind of fright feat that they make them all do where they have to go into like a little tiny area and they have to unlock like a padlock or something while water is rising, and then there's like a inflatable thing pushing down, so they're being squished underwater while trying to unlock something. And I have a mortifying fear of like underwater spelunking. That it just terrifies me, and I feel like that's the closest they could possibly get. Because when they're asking you like what is your biggest fear, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, applicable to the show, it would be that. I mean, how could they recreate dying alone? I mean, I don't know.
I mean that's the one thing about Dragula. I absolutely love alternative, crazy monster drag. I would love
Hmm.
to do Dragula because I'm very competitive and I also love creative stuff. But I could never do the like pain, like where they did the piercings.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do it painful exterminations, and I could not where y'all just had to eat the brains and fish sauce or I
Well,
couldn't.
bitch, you don't even like sauce in
'Cause
general, so you wouldn't
I have
even.
a phobia with food with certain foods. So I couldn't do those things. So that's what would prevent me from ever doing it. So I applaud all of y'all for doing craziest stuff because it's like a mixture of Halloween and Drag Race and Fear Factor all mixed up in one.
Mhm.
And you have to be able to do so many things, and they expect. I feel like Dragula is harder than Drag Race because it's physical challenges, it's mental challenges, and you have to come with good drag. So kudos to y'all. Chantel, do you have any more questions? I have one more before.
I don't think so. Not that I
Okay.
can think of.
So we'll let you go, but I have one more question. If you don't win this season, who do you want to win?
um Well, I think that's an easy one for me. There is somebody on this cast that I think when they enter a room, there is a special light that just permeates everybody. There is somebody that everybody falls in love with. You cannot have an interaction with this person without falling in love. And I would say Asia consent, hands down.
Yes.
I'm living for
She
her
is,
too.
yeah,
Me too.
she is my favorite person in the world. I'm absolutely in love with her. She's such an incredible artist, and just her heart is so big. I don't even know how she does it. I'm too much of a cunt to be that big of a heart.
I have no heart. I'm right there with you. Well, thank you so much for giving us some insight and talking with us. I just love your drag.
Yeah. It was nice to meet you too.
Very
Yes,
nice.
it was so wonderful to meet you. I'm so honored. Thank you for having me.
We'll all have to kiki sometime whenever we have
Yes.
time. But thank you so much and good luck with this season.
Yes,
Thank you
good
so
luck.
much. Have a good one.
Wow, some good tea there.
That was fierce.
Fierce. Her drag
Finally, a bitch is not afraid to say something.
and her drag is just fierce. It's just
Yeah.
like even with nothing on but her mug and her hair, it was like perfection.
Yeah, I live.
Before we continue though, look at this cool mask.
Oh, bitch, that is scary looking.
Isn't it? The eyes glow. I found this on Instagram. It's custom because look at it. It's like the inside is it's like latex.
Yeah. What are you going to use that for?
Yeah, I'm just gonna display it because I love zombies.
Yeah.
And you can actually buy different eyeballs because they come with eyeballs because it's like an actual mask.
Yeah.
And I got these because the pupils actually glow. Look, guys,
The
wait.
eyeball half popped out.
But look at that, how fucking creepy is that?
That's cool though.
And it's like airbrushed and everything, but I love it. I collect weird and
Everything zombie.
my cup today is a zombie.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. So let's go ahead and continue this episode. We're gonna start off with Aurora brings up that someone's spreading a rumor that she was telling everyone that she got on Dragula. And there's like there's one thing about Dragula that irks me, and I don't know if it's because the girls are just not good at acting or what it is, but it always like certain tea always seems like it's planned. Like
Yeah.
like they're acting. I'm sure it's like real, but it sounds like okay, now we need to talk about this. And I don't know if that's production prompting them and they're just not good actors or they decide to bring it up and they're just not good actors. But either way, it just sounds so phony.
It's
Like
forced.
yeah, it sounds forced. Like when the girls pull each other over to the side, it sounds like they're acting.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than it being organic. Because you could tell when like somebody like Desiree, for example, she's not acting, girl. All of that, all the tea,
Girl.
all the shade, everything that she's like spilling, that's it just is word vomit. And you could tell it's natural.
Yeah.
Versus like Majesty, when Majesty talks, they just come across phony, like when they cried in this episode. And so I don't know. Maybe it is genuine, but I'm just saying how it comes across. It just certain things, and I was only using Majesty as one example. There's many examples, but what do you think about this? Like, if so, the rumor is out that Aurora has been telling people in Chicago. What? How do you think this situation should be handled?
Well, first off, you don't play with someone's dream, period. So the fact that people are even bringing this up and saying this, because like, you know how hard and strict NDAs are with these type of TV shows. They don't play fucking games. So the fact that these people are even bringing it up, it's a level of disrespect that is almost like unexplainable, because it could easily snatch someone's dream from them immediately. And these people have been working sometimes their whole careers for this opportunity. And so to me, it doesn't sit well in my stomach. It kind of pisses me off.
I get you. I get that thought process, but devil's advocate here. What if she legitimately has been just blabbing around telling everybody, and that's against the NDA? And like, so, fair is fair.
Yeah.
Do you think if this is true, if it is true,
I mean, the thing is, girl, is like, when you're
qualified?
getting ready for the show, you have to, sometimes you have to message designers and work with your
Designers are
people,
different than I would say
but
telling.
someone could run their mouth.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
So for me, I think there needs to be proof. There needs to be documented proof, not just he said, she said, they said. It
Yeah.
needs to be like documented messages or text messages or something or recordings of the incident for it to actually be legitimized.
Yeah.
Um
I
and
just don't see why someone would make something like that up. You know what I mean?
I don't know either. I mean, other than like it could have been Scylla because she hated Aurora. It could have been like actually because one of the girls, I can't remember who it was, but one of the girls that wasn't from Chicago even said, "Hey, I'm not even near there, and I've heard." So, if it wasn't Scylla, and it was legitimately somebody, and they can legitimize the claim, then I think, and as much as I live for Aurora, I think she should be disqualified. It's different if it's like designers, but like then that's another thing. That's a risk that you take,
Yeah.
unfortunately. She confronts the cast, and Auntie says she's heard the rumors that Scylla didn't tell her that. So that means somebody else told Auntie.
Which is like, I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too. And maybe we'll find out later on in the
I
season.
don't think Scylla even meant, or not Scylla, Auntie even mentioned that in the interview.
Yeah, no, not in the interview. Auntie
Yeah, yeah,
said
yeah.
that she said it was a reliable source. She didn't
Yeah.
say who it was.
Well, that's what when I asked her just a little bit ago, you know, did you hear anybody? I don't think she said anything.
She didn't say a name,
Yeah.
but my thing is, if this is a storyline that's going to play out throughout the season, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Because maybe this does come to some sort of conclusion, good or bad, for Aurora, and they can't talk about it obviously because it's
Yeah.
storyline that's still playing out. Um, but this week's challenge is classic family holidays. They must conceptualize a horror look from classic holiday themes.
And also produce a act of filth into their performance.
Yes. So not only does it have to be a floor show about a holiday, but it has to be filthy.
And
And
that's one of the pinnacles of Dracula's thing that they do
yeah,
is drag, filth, horror, and glamour.
yes. And we're gonna talk about it, but some of these were very filthy, like disgusting.
I
And
think they were filthy and disgusting, but I think that like people could have gotten a little more creative with the holidays.
I think so too. I think, girl, if you know that these are like obviously somebody's gonna do Christmas, somebody's gonna do, there's
But what about other holidays, girl?
a
There's so many
thousand
different
holidays.
holidays.
Pick something
What
crazy.
about Hanukkah, bitch?
Girl. Yeah. But um
Japanese New Year.
what holiday would you choose?
Oh, that's a good question. I would definitely do something that is not so everyday, not every day, but like every holiday.
Think about it. I want
Yeah,
I
let me
want to know
think
an
of something.
actual I want to know an actual holiday. Me, I would pick St. Patrick's Day and do the craziest, creepiest leprechaun.
See, and that's the thing. Like, Leprechaun is one of the horror icons of
Yeah,
horror.
but I
Like that
wouldn't do
bitch
it like
scared me.
I wouldn't do it just like that leprechaun. I would
No,
do
I
it,
know.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is that the fact that that didn't even become a thought by somebody
Right.
is just
Right.
kind of like mind-boggling because that I grew up watching Leprechaun movies. You
Yeah.
know what I
I mean,
mean? And so
Jennifer Aniston got her start in
she
Leprechaun.
did. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy is I just watched the first Leprechaun like a couple months ago, and I
Uh-huh.
saw her in it. And I didn't even realize that she was the first person in it
It's because
that
she
got her
hasn't
start.
stopped since.
You know what's funny though? That bitch has not aged. She ages like fine wine.
Oh no, she's definitely aged, sweetie.
I
She
mean, she still looks amazing.
she does. She does do looking good, honey. She does do looking good. You still haven't picked a holiday yet? Because I'm waiting.
I don't know. I probably would do, but see, the thing is like, you know how people are nowadays. Like, you can do a holiday from someone else's culture, and they'd be like, you're appropriating. You know what I mean?
You could do like Siblings Day and then bitch be the only what is the Siamese twin?
Yeah,
where you have like the Siamese like arms and legs growing out of you, like you
that
are
could be cool.
part of the that would be I have so many ideas, bitch. I should really do Dragula. I
I
would.
know damn gonna well, like if I had time to sit on it, I definitely would choose something that is just very unheard of, or at least a holiday that most people aren't going to choose. Girl,
Yeah.
we had literally like two Independence Days, two baby New Year's or whatever.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So the Fright Feat is they must create a profile and film while eating Boulet bonbons with pig brains and fish sauce.
And whoever wins
Yes.
gets, and they have to, while they're eating it, did you say that they have to do like some kind of commercial, like
Yeah, they have to film it like it's almost, yeah, it's like a commercial or like a visual profile for a dating app. But yes, like you
and
said,
whoever wins gets to put a curse on the person, and the curse consists of them getting to only get ready with a compact makeup mirror. A compact isn't like something this small.
yeah. I feel like that is still so doable. It should have been like the tiniest sliver of a mirror. Like
That would have been so
the
fierce.
tiniest.
And like for some people, that is doable. I mean, but for someone like Auntie, what she puts her makeup all the way back to her asshole. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're definitely gonna need another mirror. But I would also like, yeah, I would have done like a crack mirror, like a really small one, and also not let them see themselves putting their costumes on. They would have to like put their costumes on without looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna curse these bitches, really curse these bitches. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of drag queens who do their makeup in little compacts in like in the dressing room because
Make that bitch get ready in a porta potty like they did the last season
oh girl.
with no mirror,
Yeah.
and you have to get
Or
ready
a
with this huge
cracked, I like
costume.
your idea of a cracked mirror. Like a cracked mirror is hard to see through too.
Yeah.
Girl, the bonbons look disgusting.
Well,
I
at first they didn't. I was like, okay, and then oh,
girl, the grossest thing to me was the fish sauce.
I didn't even. Oh yeah, it was like I saw the like coming
It
out
was
of their
like,
mouth and
yeah, it was
stuff.
like yellow and like they were like lifting it up and drink. I was like, I would literally vomit. I would
I
literally,
was laughing my ass off though at the reactions.
I couldn't do it. Food stuff or like stuff with pain, I just could not do it. That,
Yeah.
so kudos to them because that was
I
just,
don't mind eating stuff that's like weird because I could probably just hold my breath and eat it really quick. But the needle
there was a
stabbing,
lot of it. There was a lot of
girl,
it. But
jumping out of a plane, heights scare me.
I would jump out of a plane and I'm scared of heights.
I want to do it.
I'd rather do that than get a piercing or fish sauce, honey.
I
No.
want to do it one day. Me and Ethan talked about it, but I would be screaming the whole way.
So this Fright Feet win goes to Asia, and they say they determine this because she's the only one that held down all of the stuff and did it the calmest, and it
Yeah.
worked out the best for her.
And I was, see, what's funny is I was actually judging on who was the funniest,
Oh yeah, no,
but I didn't realize.
yeah, because if you throw it up, then you didn't really, you didn't it didn't do exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Um, So she decides to curse Gray, which I think is a great choice because Gray has been in the top, I think all 3 episodes.
He's just a good competitor.
So good.
Curse him.
Drag. So good at his drag. It's very specific, very good. The only thing with cursing Gray is that Gray uses a lot of masks and stuff on his face, so it's not really painting per se. All that. So I mean, some of it is and some of it's not. I would have probably cursed somebody like Auntie, or Auntie, or like Yuri or Aurora, that they really do put a lot of emphasis on painting.
Yeah, for sure.
Asia, we find out, she goes back to Pi. They talk it out. She offers an alliance to Pi.
And then Pi is like, well, I'll have to wait on it.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I don't know. And one thing I didn't like about this interaction of Pi is like, oh, maybe you can make it up to me. Well, bitch, you crossed her first.
Yeah.
So like this making it up, it was kind of like y'all were even at that point. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was weird. And then when later on we find out that Pi decides to take the alliance, and the way that was shot, again, it just seemed so set up, or like,
She was
yeah, like, uh-huh.
like, come on now. Somebody in the room saw that.
So I was like, what is happening? Whatever. But it is making good TV. I mean, like if nothing else, all of these little storylines are giving us, they're feeding us, because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is another part of that. Um and
And
um
what's even speaking of alliances too, Auntie winds up in the other room while they're all getting ready. They start talking about, well, maybe we should consider alliances too. So
oh
this
yeah,
whole season, people are starting to really come up with alliances, and I'm
which
like,
works.
okay, this is good. It's
Because
getting good.
because each episode, it's like they're cursing people, and not only that, like maybe there's other things where they get to vote people out. Who knows? Because the
Yeah.
Boulets love a twist, honey, and so it is smart to go on these. People have got to start looking at this like a competition,
Yep.
and like a game, and
I
rather,
think it's more smart to say like a game because
yeah,
that's really what it is. When you said that, I was like, it makes more sense.
yes, because um
And even Pi says that. Pi is like, this is a game. It's not a competition.
I've done 3 seasons of Drag Race, and all 3 seasons, I pretty much for the most part played a fair game. And I think going in specifically for All Stars, you get more of an opportunity to play a game, a strategic game that can help your game long term.
Yeah.
And so I think if I was to ever go back for another All Stars or something else, I would be more strategic,
Mhm.
because I want to win.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, I've already proven myself on what kind of drag I do. Now I want to win. And I want to do it however I need to do it to get me to the finish line. So let's talk about the floor shows and the Boulets look. First of all, the Boulets come out and they're in this, it's almost like a jack-o'-lantern,
Ostrich feather,
yeah, themed.
like cocktail
Look.
dress.
Yeah, they're in a cocktail dress. It's marabou feathers. It's cinched in the waist. They have patent leather black gloves. They have beautifully coiffed hair,
It's
but the
very
opposite
pinup
colors.
style.
Yeah, they have a mask. To me, this is a little simple. Um, just because the Boulets have set such a high bar for themselves. They still look good, obviously, and they look beautiful in the
Yeah.
bug hair and stuff. I just thought this was a little more simple for them.
Yeah.
I think if we
Which I think, maybe that's what they really wanted to do, just to kind of switch it up. But like you said, we are used to seeing the most extra
just the
shit from
most
them.
extra of extra, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's obviously not bad. It's just compared to last week when everything was like the muscle and all that in the train, and I love a good train, bitch.
Yeah.
But it still looks cute. It still looks great. And when they're sitting, they look very cohesive and beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. What
The
do you
only thing that I would say, I gave this a killer for me. It's still great. The
Yeah.
only thing that I really wish they might have done was, um, I think to make this like really fucking fierce, they should have done a black patent, like shiny vinyl bodysuit underneath it. I
mm,
think that would have been so fierce with the
do like built-in gloves and built-in
yes, with long fingers, maybe even just like a
maybe even a skull
choker.
cat.
Maybe that, or like a choker or something. I felt like right here was so open that it needed something here. But I think that even if they would have just done a whole black skull cap with that hairstyle like sticking out of it, that
Yeah.
would have been cut, bitch.
Yeah, but it still looked good. So
Yeah,
I agree with you. I would say this is a killer look for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
We're moving on to the floor show, and Jaharia has birthday. The Boulets did say they didn't want to see any more clowns.
They
Uh,
very much gave us clown.
Jaharia came out as a birthday clown, which I do think this goes along with Jaharia's makeup. This is very traditional Jaharia. One thing I will say is she hasn't been very diverse with her makeup.
Yes.
And that's something I would like to see more of is something different. She looks beautiful, but I want to see something different. Overall, this didn't move me. I didn't see the filth in this as much as I would have liked to have. It looked a little too cutesy, and I was just wanting the horror, or like where is the grit? Where is the filth?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
if it's birthday, like, you can kill somebody on their birthday. I don't know, like
well, like I would have done like I don't know
eat
a
a cake that's poisoning
cake that
you.
has like brains and like when you like squeeze into it, like blood comes out, or
Yeah.
you know, there could have been so many other ways. Like the costume could have been way more tattered. Um, I don't know. There just could have been so much more done to make it look more filth. I was waiting for more filth.
Well, even like when they did the cake and then they sat on it on the stage, to me that's not filth. You know what I mean? Still, like
You're
I
just
want
sitting
to
on a
see
cake.
filth. Literally,
Well,
I would eat
people
a
pay
cake
on
that came
OnlyFans
out
for
of
that.
someone's ass. Right. If there was a cake in someone's ass, I'd eat it. That ain't filthy.
Girl, right? And like you could have put like blood and guts in balloons and had them drag behind you and pop them and like
Oh, you like very much like it. You know when it pops the balloons and the blood goes everywhere?
yeah, I just
That'd been
wanted more
sick,
filth.
bitch.
It just wasn't filthy enough. To me, this wasn't bad. It was polished looking. It just wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna give this a dull knife.
I agree. I gave it a dull knife too. I just felt like I seen it before. Pretty much everything you said. The biggest thing when I saw the gore part, I was like, this isn't giving gore either.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
dull knife.
I agree. After Jaharia, we have Aurora Gosmic, and Aurora is Baby New Year's. And I at first was like, what the hell is Baby New Year's? I've never heard of this
Me
term.
either.
And so I looked it up, and it's like Father Time and Baby New Year's. I've heard of Father Time, but I didn't really know the story. So basically, what it is that the beginning of the beginning of the year is Baby New Year, and throughout the year, the baby turns into Father Time at the very end, like the old man. So it's like it's basically the same entity, basically the same fictional character, just being dying and being reborn. Um, but so
Interesting.
she's New Year's, so
And that's
she's
a
a
holiday?
baby. And her costume is definitely giving baby. Um I thought it was cute. I liked her teeth. I liked her makeup. I thought the goo that was coming out of the bottle was gross. It wasn't gross enough
I was gonna
though.
say it didn't give me gore enough. I feel like you should have had a shitty diaper. You should have
I mean, she
had,
did she did have a shitty diaper, but it was like a shit stain. It was like a
yeah,
skid.
but I
I
want
wanted
you to
like
I want baby
I wanted
Greek
it
shit.
wet poop. I wanted her to throw poop. I want
Yes.
or eat the poop. I
I
don't know.
want eating poop.
I wanted more. Like I didn't like that she had it looked like her natural hair. I wanted like patchy hair or something. One thing about Aurora is she's so pretty, and so
She's
she's
so set on trying to be pretty.
right. Versus like this is a filth challenge, and they probably gave her that prompt before she made this costume. She could have made sure that this was more filth.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna give dull knife.
Yeah, I agree. I gave this a dull knife as well.
After Aurora, we have the Vivi, and the Vivi is, I believe, 4th of July. Um, and the Vivi comes out like in a pig mask, pig ears, like a Star Spangled Banner outfit, and then reveals this grill with all these like blood and guts and gore. What do you think?
I thought this was right off the bat a bloodbath. I thought it was fierce. I loved the pig mask. I didn't know what the fuck the pig mask stood for. Ethan was like, "Oh, they bake pigs or whatever, or they cook them on that day or something." I don't know.
Barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, they barbecue and whatever. But it was just creative. Like I liked how they had the guts, and there was something just haunting about this that I could see in a scary movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some kind of old 80s horror movie. It was just fierce. There was something about, I feel like I've never seen this before. And all in all, I thought this was a bloodbath. There was nothing I could clock that was bad about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I will say that I didn't love is that the pig mask looked like a pig mask. Like I
Yeah.
wish there was like I wish it was a prosthetic where there was a little bit more movement in the face. But other than that, it was really good and it was
I've
go
seen scary movies though with people wearing masks like that on purpose, and it's
yeah.
scary.
Yeah. It was very cool. So I'm gonna also say Bloodbath.
Work.
After the Vivi, we have Yuri, and Yuri is Valentine's Day. And Yuri comes out in this like white teddy bear outfit. Yuri's doing another thing where Yuri has like pieces of hair coming out from underneath their mask. Um, I'll give my opinion. I did not like this. I
Yeah.
thought that Yuri's being too safe. Yuri's
Too
being
safe, girl.
safe. We're all we're getting is like a creative, pretty makeup. I'm over this hair bit that she has. Like she's adding weird bits of hair into these different looks for no reason. Like remember the
Yeah.
bang?
Oh, the bang was atrocious.
She didn't need the bang, and she has
Burn
these
it.
tendrils that are coming. I don't get it. I don't know. Her head is covered. Why do you need two tendrils?
Yeah, burn
And
it.
then, like the boots, the stripper boots with this, it just didn't give
The
gore enough.
silhouette to it just didn't look right.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're gonna come out as a teddy bear, bitch, I want you to be like oversized, like
Love teddy bear.
the Michelin Man, like Marshmallow Man,
Yeah.
big. Um,
Well, those teddy bears also are so known in for Valentine's Day as you get a big one. You're excited to get a big one.
yeah, I did think that it was kind of gory where she was pulling out nastiness from like this vagina-shaped hole in her heart of candy.
Yeah.
So that was a little gory, but overall, this was a miss for me. I'm gonna give this a flat line.
Oh, I just gave it a dull knife, but pretty much the same thing. I didn't get much anything about it. I don't get the heart on the crotch area. I don't
Yeah,
get the shoes. I don't get even the gore part to me wasn't really gory for me.
right.
Even the teddy bear itself, the fabric still looks too clean. There's no like grunge to it.
Yeah, like
You know what I
we
mean?
want it singed.
Yeah.
We want it, more blood. We want like if you're gonna be the teddy bear, why don't you have like some seams poking out where like fluff is coming out from it or
Yeah.
you know,
She could have ate a heart, like a human heart,
yeah.
because of Valentine's Day. You stole the heart.
Yes.
Who knows? But yeah, dull knife, honey. Next.
After Yuri, we have Gray Matter, and Gray Matter is Easter. And Gray comes out in this like teal or turquoise bunny rabbit and pulls out this ginormous phallic carrot that's slimy.
I
And
lived.
the teeth just looks disgusting. What do you think?
Well, I'm starting to see that this person has a specific style of how they do their characters. They always show like a split down scalp. And you remember
Mhm.
how I was telling you, I was like, oh, I feel like I've seen this before. That's their brand. So that makes sense for me now. This whole look for me was they literally put me in my grave because I was just dead, like in all the good ways. It
Yeah.
was fierce. I loved the mask. The mask was cool because it was a mask, but you couldn't clock that it was a mask because of how
Yeah.
they applied it. The makeup was cool. I like how this is what I mean by grunge. Like grunge your fucking costume up, bitch. Put some
Detail.
the details. Make the fur look like you have rabies, bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mange.
Yeah.
Everything about this just has a purpose, and I have never wanted to fuck a rabbit this much in my life because that carrot was hot.
Yeah. It was
Bloodbath.
disgusting and like the even like down to the nails, the way that the tips of the nails were. There's just so much detail in all of Gray's costuming, which makes it really cool. Plus Gray's performance with like stroking the carrot, it just was
It was
gross.
just hot, but
It could
it's
have
just
been a
good.
little bit more filthy, but I think it was pretty filthy.
Yeah, I think that their look though makes up for it.
Oh yeah. To me, this is also a bloodbath. After Gray, we have Pie, and Pie also comes out as Baby New Year. Um, and this baby looks a little deformed. Um, it is a lot more filthy than Aurora's. Um, it reminds me of, I can't remember that movie from the late 80s, early 90s that had Demi Moore in it, and she gets pulled over by this police officer and get in this little town and gets taken to the court, and they like trap her and this guy that she's with inside this mansion that's like
Yeah.
disgusting, and like they're trying to get out, and they're trying to force the guy to marry the disgusting daughter, and there's these two giant baby creatures that live in this like junkyard outside, and this is what it reminds me of, and I can't think of the name. If somebody knows the name in the comments, tell me the name.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. You got to watch it.
Yeah. You'll have to send it to me.
But even the way that Pi was performing was just cool. It reminded me of like something from like Silent Hill.
I literally wrote that down. That's so crazy.
Yeah. What do you think?
I literally wrote the same note. I was like, this looks like a character that is just weird, like one of them nurses, but like as a baby. He walked weird. The character was so oddly shaped. It also reminded me of like a monster that you would fight in this game called Dark Souls, because all the characters are just very that. They're just weird creatures that you would see in a nightmare. There was just something weird about this baby that was gross by itself. Like you didn't even have to perform like a gore.
Babies are gross.
That part. And like the way that it looked was filth alone.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a bloodbath.
Also, bloodbath for sure. After Pi, we have Asia, and Asia, I believe, is doing Mother's Day. She's the only one that I couldn't figure out exactly what it was.
I couldn't either.
Was it Mother's Day or was it like a baby shower? I think it was Mother's Day though.
To me, it was like Mother's Day or a baby shower, and she was given an abortion.
Right. What do you think?
I thought this was fucking fierce.
Yeah.
Like gore, 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 filth, filth, filth. The makeup alone, that bitch's mug just looks so fierce.
Gorgeous.
The hair is sickening. I like how the cigarettes are in it because it's almost like a mother smoking with her child, and she's put out all her cigarettes in her hair. It's just so creative. And then the makeup, the costume, everything about this, even when she like ripped her stomach open, I was like, oh my God, this looks real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The baby looked real. This was like more than a bloodbath for me. It was fierce.
It reminds me of if Mommy Dearest was to become Freddy Krueger's wife.
Yes.
I know that sounds crazy, but like if you look at it, like that's what it looks like. It looks like if Mommy Dearest was to like die and become a demon and become Freddy Krueger's wife, because if I remember correctly, at least in one of the movies, wasn't he like made up of body parts, or like there was
Freddy Krueger he like becomes your like nightmare. You know what I mean? So like
yeah, but I'm
based on
saying
what
like
he wants to
I
scare you.
remember there being like other faces and stuff.
Remember I told you I wanted to do a gown with like faces in it and stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's like different souls that he's like taken.
That he's taken. Yeah.
It's just fierce.
This was beyond and definitely a bloodbath, just like the look.
Yep, the level of artistry is just unmatched.
Just so good. It's like so good. And right now, I mean, Asia is the one to beat. Like she's just incredible. After Asia, we have Desiree, and Desiree is giving Thanksgiving. One thing I will say about Desiree that I appreciate this floor show is that Desiree's look is very identifiable. Like unlike last week's look, I could not tell what it was. This week, I can definitely tell that she is a pilgrim. I appreciate that the chicken is an actual chicken and it's not like a prop chicken. Like she was like, taking bites out of raw chicken. Like that is filth to me.
Yeah.
I wish it was a turkey, but hey, it was disgusting that she had like this long dick that was disgusting. She was like masturbating over the chicken, and then she pulled out like this whatever basket thing that had like guts in it. she's great at performing.
Yeah.
Like great at performing. The look was underwhelming, even though it was identifiable. It was a little too off the rack for me. The hair looked a little too pretty. I can appreciate this more than last week because of the fact that I feel like I can understand what's happening. And I feel like an audience should never have to wonder in a competition setting what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just so underwhelming. It's very,
Yeah.
very pedestrian to me. And as much as it is filth, it is really off the rack. And I'm just gonna have to say it's a flat line.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing is when they walked out, the way that Dragula films the floor shows, it's very hard sometimes to see what's going on because there's so much going on at once,
Yeah.
and they're trying to show everybody in their glory. So
Yes.
like when they showed Desiree, they walked down so quick, and I think also what really is hard to judge about this is you're taking so much in at once. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, this, you know. But with Desiree, I really couldn't figure out who they were when they walked out.
Yeah.
And like you said, they didn't have a turkey. I really wanted a fucking turkey, bitch.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that you could do with Thanksgiving. The hair alone, too. I feel like you should have like jacked the hair up, like really just messy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
made the hat almost look burnt or something. There's
Mhm.
just so many different things that happened for Thanksgiving that you could have told more story about.
Yeah.
So it was underwhelming, you know, but for the most part, I'm just going to give it a flat line.
Yeah. After Desiree, we have Majesty, and Majesty is also doing 4th of July or Independence Day. And they come out on these very tall stilts and a very similar concept as far as like they're almost doing like Uncle Sam style look.
I thought that it was good. There was parts to me that I feel like they could have gone a little bit more scary, but I liked the message that they had behind it. Again, I want more tatterness on the costume and maybe the hair to not be so perfect. I gave this a dull knife.
Yeah. I didn't like this. I thought it looked I like the fact that they were in stilts because it does give that creepiness of like tall, slender manish kind of vibe. But I felt like the costume was too
Too
perfect.
clean.
It was too simple. There was no filth other than her peeing on the flag. Like there was no filth at all.
That part.
I just didn't like this. I thought this was very weak for Majesty, especially I expect a very high um floor show performance and look from Majesty since this is their second time being on the show.
That
And
part.
last week I wasn't crazy about the look or performance. And same thing this week. I think this is too simple.
Yeah.
Desiree's almost was better because of the fact that she at least had filth.
Yeah.
And I don't like this. I don't think it was the only thing that they got with a brief was the fact that you could tell that this is Independence Day.
Yeah,
Other
they at
than
least
that,
told a story because they are conceptual with their looks, but I think that
well,
this
so
wasn't
did
conceptual
Desiree.
enough.
Desiree told a story. This was like nothing. This was like they walked out on stilts, unveiled a flag slowly and it was kind of like clunky,
Yeah.
and then peed on it.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a flat line. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I expect more. After Majesty, to round out the floor show, we have Auntie, and Auntie did Halloween. Halloween, and she did this like mashup of like candy, and there was like razor blades in it, and she had like creepy her normal makeup, which is also very creepy. To me, this was pretty safe, especially for what they have presented so far in the competition. It kind of gives me vibes of Desiree's last week. The only thing is, though, I can tell what this is. Like, I can tell that this is candy. I saw the razor blades. I see the pumpkin bag that you go around and trick or treat. Um, it just was very safe to me. Um, Huge fan, safe. I'm gonna say dull knife.
Yeah, I gave it a dull knife too. I think that the silhouette alone for me just wasn't flattering. I didn't like it. And then
Yep.
also I felt like there was too much going on in the costume because like Candy is so small that I feel like it's hard to pick up on television. So I feel like they should have chose like I mean you probably can't choose like actual like name brand candy because it probably would have been copyrighted. But there
Yeah.
had to have been a way to like make the candy look like it's better on camera. Because to me, this was just so busy that like it wasn't anything like for me to gag about. And I feel like I also seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with Halloween, there's just so much you could do with Halloween.
Yeah.
And girl, Halloween is like nothing but monsters and ghouls and filth and
Yeah.
gore and all of that. So like you got to come hard.
Yeah.
And this wasn't bad, it just was safe.
Yeah. To me, it
So
looked like instead of candy, it looked like they were at a junkyard. Like just like junk everywhere.
yeah, I
Almost
can see
like
that.
almost like stuff from the ocean or something.
I'm gonna say who I thought had the best look, who I thought had the best floor show performance, and then who I thought was the worst overall. And then who my winner overall is, and then who my bottom two are. So let's start with the best look overall. Who did you go with?
My best look, I went with gray, hands down.
Okay.
And my best
No,
floor
no,
show.
let's do one at a time. So
Okay, so who is your best look?
you did gray, I did Asia. I just thought the details were there. I liked Gray's for sure too, but
Yeah.
there's just something even more original about Asia's, like
Yeah.
cutting open of the stomach, like just the fact of the stomach there. It just there was details that I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I feel like I've seen, you know what Grey's reminds me of? I believe I have this movie correct. Grey's Rabbit reminds me of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I think there is a bunny, like a horror Easter bunny in one of the scenes in one of the movies that's like running down the hallway or something like that.
Oh, work.
I think it's either Bill and Ted's or it might be like a Twilight Zone. Either way, one of those.
To
So
be fair though, I feel like Asia, people eat babies all the time on the show.
yeah, but I feel like the detail what I'm saying is the details
Yeah.
of it. Just I just really liked her details. Who was your best performance
My
overall?
best performance was Asia.
And that was also mine. Best performance hands down was Asia. Who was your worst overall? Just in general, everything.
My bottom two queens was Desiree and Yuri.
Okay. My worst overall was Majesty. My winner of the week was Asia. By process of elimination, to me, she had the best look and the best floor show performance. So to
Yeah,
me,
same.
and she won the fright feat. Um, who was your winner overall?
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
And then my bottom two was Yuri and Desiree. I picked Yuri and Desiree because Yuri, there was just no filth.
Yeah.
And Desiree, because it just was too simple.
Yeah.
And if I could pick a third, it would have been Majesty.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think saved Majesty for me is that they were a little bit more consistent with their performance. Like it just had a better flow than either Yuri or Desiree.
Mm.
We find out that the actual winner is Asia. We find out that the bottom two is actually Yuri and Desiree. And then that we go into the cauldron. Obviously when we go into the cauldron, there's so much freaking drama left and right. People are shooting
Always.
each other. The things that stand out to me in the cauldron is Desiree and Yuri get into a huge fight. I'm talking about humongous fight. Yuri is obviously like
Going through
in
it mentally.
her head, yeah, and can't deal. So they like are screaming, and then
Well, they're
out
not
of
really
nowhere,
screaming. They're just like talking about their feelings. And then Desiree is like, "Are you done talking? I let you talk." And then they start arguing. And then Desiree throws a chicken.
a chicken, a real dead chicken at her.
Yeah, thank God she like hit it out of her face because it would have
Yeah,
hit her. And then Yuri throws the drink on her. So it's like, girl, shit is going
it
down.
was a shit show, bitch.
Yeah,
If both of them would have brought the performance that they just gave in the cauldron to the floor show, maybe they both would be at least safe because
that part.
that was drama, honey.
I
That
know. I
was
was
drama.
living.
It was
But
crazy.
you know what was not living?
That chicken.
That chicken bitch.
That chicken bitch. Oh my gosh. So the extermination challenge is to go skydiving.
Which is one of my biggest fears. You know, I hate heights.
What would you be able to do it?
I probably would do it just because, you know, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So I would do it, but I would be fucking scared the whole way, bitch.
I During watching this, I um almost didn't think that Yuri was gonna do it because Yuri was getting in their head, and I was like, oh my God, are they like not gonna go? And then all of a sudden they do. It's both of them jump out. And then we find out that the extermination goes to Desiree. And I feel it's Desiree's time. Um,
You could just tell, you know what I mean?
yeah,
When people are on the show and you just know in the order most of the time that people are going to go.
yeah,
And this was her
absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
Sorry.
Do you agree with the outcome of this episode? Like,
Yeah, I
who
totally agree with
won? Who
who
went home?
won.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that Asia is just is such a strong competitor. Very conceptual too. They're like it is when you know that someone is going to be in the bottom that week. There's always someone that you can tell that is going to be in the top, or
yeah.
you at least know that that's your top two or top four people of the season. And I guarantee you, Asia is top four, like period.
Now, the question that I ask every episode, up to this point, who do you think is going to win?
I think Asia.
Yeah, I
I
agree with
really
you.
do.
Not only just from my point of view, but both of our guests have said Asia.
Yeah, and just she's such a likable person. Like I did hair for them, and you know, this was right around the time that I got scammed that like $4,000 from that girl.
Yeah.
And Asia had placed an order with me. Now, keep in mind, I had no idea Asia was even on the show, and I made hair for them. And it took me a long time to get the hair to Asia. Now, keep in mind, I kept Asia in the loop. You know me, I'm very professional with my clients, but um, told them the reason why. Very understanding person, and Asia paid quite a penny for this wig. So I can see someone being pissed off and being like, "Bitch, what is taking so long?" But she was
Yeah.
very understanding, and I think that says a lot about her character in general in this whole season, and that's why people love her so much.
Yeah, and she's just not only that, she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous and fierce,
Stunning.
and you
Stunning.
can't find someone that's fierce and gorgeous and a
And
nice
kind.
person.
Yeah, and nice. Yeah. And not just like cotton candy nice. She has an edge to her. She does have a bite. Like she knows how to hold her ground, but like it's in a good way. Like
Yeah,
in a strong woman way.
yeah,
Versus
you could tell that she almost has like this like presence that makes you want to feel loved.
yeah. Yeah. Well, before we go, I want to remind you all, go to servevodka.com. Check out the vodkas. There's 6 different flavors. Also, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please like and comment on all the Dragula videos because that helps us get this out there more to more people. And as we're trying to build this podcast brand, we hope you liked this episode. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye, uglies.